Hey everybody, how are you? How is everybody? Hey, social media land, how are you? I am actually on Instagram as well today. I'm trying something new. Yes, indeed, I'm trying something new. So today is Saturday and it's Super Saturday. I hope everybody is enjoying their beautiful weather here in New York. We are hot. We are very, very hot. They're saying that the heat index is about 104. So please pray for rain so we can cool down, right? So today, my topic is negative thinking. Negative thinking, right? So, negative thinking is something that individuals do from time to time, right? They'll probably say to themselves that I'm not able, I'm not capable, I'm not worthy of this. If they're trying to build their own business, hi Elizabeth. If they're trying to build their own business, they may say they're not worried, right? If they quit the job to put all their eggs in that basket, they probably going, oh my goodness, I messed up bad, right? I feel alone. I can't figure this out. How many in business has said that word a million times 100, right? But you know what? What I've recognized, these are just a few that open up the door to negative thinking, right? Because when you begin to shift the negative talk into negative thinking, that hurts. That will hurt you, right? That will castrate your destiny, your future before you even have one to think about, right? And I think the worst thing, you know, that can hurt you in your destiny is this right here. The word of God said that the tongue has life and death, right? Death and life are in the power of the tongue. And we have to be so very careful that we're not canceling out our blessings, right? So this thing right here in between our ears and our minds are hurting us. And you want a positive environment, but you may be setting yourself up for your own self-induced failure, right? So we know that my topic all month has been harness your failures and make it your strength, right? And this is how you're going to be able to create the change within yourself. So you have to understand, if you hear the I can't, if you hear the I won't, if you hear the I hope so's, right? If you hear the I don't knows, they will transfer over to your thinking. And when you begin to listen to that negative talk, you're going to begin to believe what you're saying, right? Does this sound like you? Can you relate to this? If you're tired of the thoughts and the clouded judgments, hashtag me, right? And even in Instagram land, hashtag me, so I know that you're serious and I can get with you today to help you to overcome this suffering in silence, as you as well, Facebook. So let me introduce myself. For those that may not know me and for those that do know me, my name is B.A.D.A.S.S Lopez Brown, and I am a lifestyle coach. I'm the founder of Pathway to Prosper Academy, and I am the creator of the B.A.D.A.S.S movement. I communicate strategies to individuals by executing my tools in order to let go of a fixed mindset, adopt a growth mindset with my badass concepts, so they too will make the choice in becoming blessed and delivered, achieving spiritual success, right? While obtaining their goals to walk their own pathway to prosper, while achieving their dreams to a successful lifestyle. Hey, Miss Jadakiss, welcome. So we have to understand that the negative imbalance, right, has paved a way for a seesaw experience, right? So yesterday I spoke about negative talk, and today I'm speaking about negative thinking because they go hand in hand, right? We often think about dream stealers. We'll often think about dream killers, but you have to understand that what comes out of your mouth is a dream stealer. What comes out of your mouth is a dream killer. What comes out of your mouth, you have to be so very careful because you are going to chop your destiny up and you will not be able to have the future you be successful, right? Be blessed and delivered, right? And achieve that spiritual success that you want out of life, right? So you have to understand that, when you begin to pay negative imbalances, negative talk, negative thinking, it's going to give you that seesaw experience. How many remember when we used to play in the park, right? And we used to do the seesaw, right? Up and down, and we enjoyed it. But how many of you are enjoying your seesaw experience right now? You don't know whether, you're going to be up one day, down the next day. You don't know which way to go. The negative talk, the negative thinking has actually created a crossroad, right? Or a hindrance that is going to stop you from having the lifestyle that you want. So these are failures, right? And what it is that you have to harness your failure so you can make it your strength so that you can create the change within yourself. You're probably saying, Madai, well, how do I create the change within myself? I'm so happy that you asked because some days you're down, some days you're up. You must understand that you need to balance yourself. You have to have a level playing field. You have to balance. You have to understand that the vibrations, right? A preacher, had stated to me about a couple years back. I want to say maybe 3 or 4 years back, and he said, listen, Madai, there are people that are waiting for the calibration of your voice to manifest. You have a set called people that you have an assignment, you have a mission to work with so that they can get closer to Christ, right? And my message has actually made an impact in people's lives, right? So you have to understand when the vibration goes out, it's going to attract people to you, right? So I just don't want anybody. I want people that want to change. I want people that are ready to focus. I want people that are ready to be the achievers, the winners, right? The ones that want to be successful in life, the ones that want to be entrepreneurs, the ones, that feel that they're overwhelmed, overworked, have no time, want that lifestyle, want that freedom. I want you. I want you to come to me and hear what Christ is saying to you. Why? Because he's created it from the very foundations of the world. It's in you. It's in you and it's in you. You have to understand that, when you take, look at this now, this is deep. Because me and my husband were speaking about this from 3 to 5 o'clock in the morning. He said, Madai, you have to understand that people are not like you. When you could take a negative word and flip it into an acronym that's going to be positive to a certain amount of people, you are exactly in your field. You are exactly in the position of where God needs you to be. You see, when I first started broadcasting the B.A.D.A.S.S, right? The B.A.D.A.S movement, everybody, she's a minister and she cursing and, all this other stuff. No. God asked me, who are you? And I began to throw out words. And the word badass came up. And on my blank piece of paper, I was like, this got to be big. This got to be happening. Okay? And that's when the Holy Spirit, within a week, 7 days came to me and said, You are blessed and delivered, achieving spiritual success. When you could take a negative and turn it around into a positive, that's the type of lifestyle that I'm talking about. That's the type of increase that I'm talking about. Okay? So you have to understand that you have to turn your negative into a vibrational positive, right? You have to turn it around to positive vibration. You have to change the frequency. You have to bring it up a notch. Because when you have frequencies that are too low, that's going to cause illness. That's going to cause defects in your life. And then you're going to possibly wonder, well, why do I keep attracting this certain type of people? Come on, let's be real today, because this is real talk. This is real talk. Have you ever heard a female or even a male say, I don't understand why I keep attracting this certain type of person in my life? Why? Because you are throwing out the vibration of that certain type of individual to be magnetized to you. So that means that you have to change your whole pattern of thinking, of your walk, of your talk, of your attitude, you know, how you dress, the people that you surround yourself with, right? So you're going to have to turn up the frequency. When you turn up the frequency, now listen to this. I've done some research on this. Now, when you're in the God zone, right? This is what they call it. The God zone frequency, things begin to heal. I saw a YouTube channel where they did research, and this person had cancer, blood cancer. And they turned up a certain type of frequency. I forget the megahertz, to be honest with you. I forget the megahertz, and I don't want to say anything incorrect. But they turned up the frequency, the cancer disappeared. So you have to understand that there are certain types of frequencies. There are certain types of vibrations that we send out through our negative thinking, through negative speech, through our body language. Oh, yeah, this is all real. This is all real. This is good too. So you have to understand that negative attracts negative, right? Your tone are megahertz. The lower the hertz will create illness, will create depression, sadness. But you must understand that when you turn up the frequency, this is when the illnesses, this is when, you know, the depression, this is when the sadness, this is when the bad thoughts begin to disappear, and you begin to enter into a God zone experience, right? So you have to understand that the attraction to having the lifestyle you want is you have to harness your failure. You have to flip it. Have you ever seen on HGTV, Flip That House, right? They took the house that wasn't looking so shabby, couldn't get on the, couldn't get sold on the market, right? But when they bought the experts in, right, and they changed and they painted and they added some highlights in the house, that's when the house sold, right? They flipped it. So when you harness your failures to make it your strength, you're flipping the negative environment and you're turning it into a positive environment, right? So now you have to choose what you want, and you have to be very specific. No longer listen to the negative thinking, right? You have to train your mouth. What I used to do is I used to do red lights. To me, I call them red light specials, right? So when I was at the red light, right? Red light means stop, right? I would say something positive about myself. It seemed like I was hitting every light and it was red, and I was saying like 5 or 6 or 7 positive words daily, right? You hear a siren, right? You see the ambulance or the fire engine scoop by. Take that as an inkling to stop, right? To stop and think of what you are saying. It works. It works, right? So you have to understand that no longer did I want to be like this, and I no longer you want to be like this, because if you wanted to be like this, you wouldn't be on the live today, right? So no longer listen to the negative thinking, no longer have that negative speech. So I fought for what I really wanted. I had to let go of the mask. I had to change my thoughts. I had to study why I had uncontrollable, impulsive, negative thinking all the time. So I really had to study this thing, right? I had to realize that though my feelings were real feelings and I validated my feelings, I didn't wallow in them. My thoughts had to change. I had to drop, stop, and focus. So I had to drop the negative behavior. I had to stop speaking the negative behavior. I had to stop thinking the negative behavior, and I had to focus on what was good, what was right, what was positive, right? So when you drop the negative thoughts, that only attracted negative thoughts, right? You have to stop the thinking, and you have to focus on your life and create the path you want. You need to be specific, right? So let me tell you something. It wasn't an overnight thing. It wasn't a microwave feeling. It wasn't a Burger King experience, that you can have it your way. No, 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 right? It required a lot of work, change, had to happen. It wasn't an overnight thing. I had to realize that I owned it to me and no one else. So many times we're hidden in people's shadow. So many times we're so connected with outside entities that we study them so much that we know more about them than we know about ourselves. Right? And we're following their patterns of life. So my special high intensity training was to master my life. It was to change my outlook. It was to create a plan. It was to generate my vibrations to having an optimistic lifestyle with a positive vibrational lifestyle, right? So I want to ask you this question. Can you relate? Can you relate to this quick live today? If you can relate, hashtag relate. Do you want this type of change? What I just shared with you with my special intensity training, right? That only took 2 minutes. If so, hashtag me. Let me know that you're serious. Let me know that you're about that all you are about is change, how you want the experience in your life. So you may be saying, okay, Madai, this is great live. I really enjoyed myself. Wow, I never thought about it like that. That's great, because guess what? Me too, right? It took me a couple years to get to that level, right? Let me tell you something. It took me over 20 years. Over 20 years to come to the mindset of what I'm sharing with you today, right? So there's 3 types of people that I'm talking to in social media land, right? And you have to understand that the first person that I want to speak to today is a procrastinator. I was once there, right? And I was laid back. I wasn't worried about life, right? I was worrying about partying. I was worried about enjoying myself. Why? Because I was young and I was naive, right? But you have to understand that though you may look at your situation and everything may look hunky-dory, right? And it may look, it may seem, it's a mirage. It may seem like everything is going okay. But what is going on in your mindset? What is going on in your heart, right? Because I'm talking to the ones that want change in their mind, their body, and their soul, right? So I want to talk to the procrastinators, right? You may be sitting there going, Madai, you know what? I love your lives. You're a great person. I'm here to support you. You know, I got your back with social media. That's great. But you want to know something? I want to have your back, and I want to help you change your mindset. I want to help you change, your body so that it will be able to heal itself, right? Or it will be able to create the change within itself, right? And then work with your spirituality so that you will be able, to get to that next level thinking, right? And you may be going, Madai, I'm good. But guess what? That's okay. You're good. That's fine. But let me tell you something. One day you're going to become sick and tired. One day there may be a situation, right? And you're going to have to catch up. Because you want to know something? When you're laid back and you procrastinate, you lose time. You can never get back that time. I learned that the hard way, right? I've often shared that I'm a graduate of the University of Hard Knocks, right? And I got my doctorate of failing forward. But now what I've achieved and I mastered, right? Now I have my masters in this thing, right? How to harness my failures and make it my strength, right? So that I could create change within myself. And I want to share with you these simple tips. So let me tell you something. Follow me on Facebook, right? Because this is where I have my classes at, right? And join my tribe because it's free. You have nothing to lose, right? And thank you so much for joining. Researchers, great. Me too. I research everything, right? Why? Because I don't want to put all my eggs in a basket. See, I know about this thing, right? You have to understand that if you want my link to know more about me, right? Because this may be the second day that you see me on Instagram. You're like, she knew. I may not know her, but let me tell you something. My gifts will make room for me, right? And your gifts will make room for you, right? So you have to understand that all the information you need will be in the link that will be provided to you today. All you have to do is inbox me, right? And I will give you that link and you'll be able to search me out. You'll be able to look at my website. You'll see everything else and you can formulate your own way, your own pathway so that you can be that super badass, right? Because today's Super Saturday. So you can be blessed and delivered, achieving spiritual success, right? So if your heart is moving, once you see everything, join Pathway to Prosper Academy Tribe. Again, it is free. Now listen, the third type of person that I'm going to talk to right now is my favorite type of person because I'm in this category, a mover and a shaker, right? That's all I have to say. If you're ready to move, if you're ready to shake, if you're ready to shake off this, this old and start, moving into your good, right? Moving into your positive vibrational atmosphere, harness your failures to make your strength so you can have to create, the change within inside yourself. That's awesome, right? Because I'm here to show you, I'm here to influence you, I'm here to teach you, right? So that you could be that badass, right? So that you could be blessed and delivered, achieving spiritual success, right? Why? Because you're sick and tired. You don't want to be in that negative atmosphere no more. You don't want to be surrounded by the same type of people bringing you down like crabs in a pot, right? You want to be around people that are influential. You want to be around people that are motivational. You want to be around people that are movers and shakers. You want people to influence you. You want, if you want to come away from being sick and tired, then join my tribe today. Pathway to Prosper Tribe. I'm on Facebook. Okay. If you want the link, inbox me today and I will share the link with you personally. I only want to share it with people that are serious about their change, right? So thank you so much for joining. Again, my name is Madai Lopez Brown, and I'm your lifestyle coach, the founder of Pathway to Prosper Academy. the creator of the B.A.D.A.S.S movement. I communicate strategies to individuals so they will come out of suffering and silence by executing my tools in order to let go of a fixed mindset and to adopt a growth mindset with my badass concept. So they will make the choice in being blessed and delivered, achieving spiritual success while attaining their goals to walk their own pathway to prosper while achieving their dreams to a successful lifestyle. So listen here, I have a great class coming up and I want to share it with you. I've shared it on Facebook and I've shared it on Instagram. Please hit the link so that you can register. Okay. And you have a great weekend. Remember, Super Saturday. And remember, the best way to be beautiful is by being you. Toodles.